Think about this with me for a moment. I wonder how many moments that shaped our lives felt completely ordinary while we were living them. Maybe it was sitting around the dinner table long after everyone had finished eating. Maybe it was helping your dad fix something in the garage, standing beside your mom in the kitchen without realizing that she was teaching you far more than a recipe. I remember moments like that. Or maybe it was washing the car together as a family, or planting flowers or fruits or vegetables, whatever it is that you... We had a grapevine and we had many different fruits in the backyard. Maybe it was packing boxes. I have a vivid memory of Daniel being so young, and he was packing a very special collectible for someone, a client, and he was running. He was maybe running with this piece in the box, working. But it felt really ordinary at the time. Or perhaps it's everyone working on some kind of family project, whatever that is, maybe on the house. Or laughing until your stomach hurt over something that absolutely wouldn't make sense today. You know those moments? I had so many of those moments growing up with my brother. Now I have it with my children. Just laugh. And it's contagious. At the same time, all those moments, they just felt like ordinary moments. Correct? But looking back, they became extraordinary moments because we weren't just making memories. We were building trust. We were building belonging. We were building a family. And the more experienced in life I get, I don't like to say older, I like to say more experienced in life. You'll catch me saying that. The more I realize the strongest families that I've ever known weren't the families who escaped hardships, challenges, obstacles, call it what you will. They were the families who refused to stop building, even when hardship came. When life celebrated them, they built together. And when life disappointed them, what did they do? They built together. And when life broke their hearts, they built together. And somewhere along the way, I began to notice something. The enemy doesn't always have to destroy a family to weaken it. Sometimes he simply convinces everyone to build separate lives, separate dreams, right? Like really fleshly dreams. Go after those. Separate priorities, separate schedules until one day everyone is living under the same roof still, but nobody's building the same life. I don't believe, and this community doesn't believe that that's God's design. We believe He always intended that the people we love the most under our roof would become part of the calling we were building, not watching them from the sidelines. I don't want anyone watching me from the sidelines. Not waiting until we finally made it, but walking beside each other, growing with us. That's how I want my babies, growing with us, walking beside us, building with me. So today, I'd love to have a conversation about this. I don't want to talk about building a successful business. That's viral right now. It's all over social media. Go find it there. I don't even want to talk about building a successful family today. I want to talk about something much deeper. I want to talk about building together. So get comfortable. Grab the person you love. Grab your babies. Get comfortable. Grab a healthy snack. Or maybe this is your time before everyone has woken up. And let's have this conversation. Let's go.
No. Ooh, that's better, right, babe?
Yeah!
Yeah. She founded an architectural concrete company.
He founded a $100 million clothing company.
She took the world by storm as a social media star.
He took the world by storm as a famous serial entrepreneur.
Together we started a business.
And had babies.
Now we're figuring out the best ways to do both.
Join us as we learn from other entrepreneurs going through the same life struggles.
As they share their life hacks about success, love, kids,
and everything in between.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Becoming Unshakable, the Legacy Conversations bonus series, a special edition brought to you by the Entrepreneur Parents Podcast, a community, take a big breath, a community of strong families building lives of faith, courage, purpose, and lasting legacy. I'm your host, Ildiko Ferenczi. Last week, we paused together. We looked back over the first half of the year. It wasn't in the books, but everyone was talking about, this inventory, and we just decided to do it a different way. Not to measure our accomplishments, but to check our hearts. Because before we build anything meaningful, we have to remember who we're becoming. And today I'd like us to take the next step. Because once we remember who we are, the next question naturally becomes, who are we building this life with? I truly believe that question can change the direction of a family. For so many years, success was described as a lonely journey. The climb, the hustle, the sacrifice, almost as if the people we loved would simply have to wait until we reached the top. Somewhere along the way, many of us quietly accepted a lie. That if we wanted to build something extraordinary, someone would have to be left behind. Right? The family would have to be left behind, and that our spouse and our children would understand. Our children would understand it's no big deal. Right? They're going to go do something great, and everybody's left behind. And somehow we'd make it up to them later on when they're adults. But that's when they're supposed to be building their family. So how does that actually work? What if we've been measuring success by the wrong standard? What if success was never meant to separate us from the people God entrusted to us, but to draw us closer together? What if the greatest thing we build isn't a business at all? What if it's the family that learned to follow our God-given destiny together, to work together, to pray together, to laugh together, to heal together, and to show up together? This isn't something unique. This happened before everyone got indoctrinated or convinced or whatever you want to call it to do that 9 to 5 and leave and go off. Families used to build together. My grandmother, my grandfather, they built together. My grandmother was so healthy. She had her last baby at 51 years old. 50 or 51 years old. I think it was 51. That's what my mom said. And an aunt said it was 50. So 50 or 51, okay, to be honest. But why is that? Well, they were healthy. They were together. The family built together. My aunt and uncle in Toronto, they built together too. And sadly, my uncle is no longer with us. He's gone to be with the Lord, but my auntie's still there. And my cousin and her husband has gone off. Now they're in Toronto, and they have the legacy there. My cousin, she's got many children. She's got a huge family, and they're all building together. I mean, some of them have gone off to do things on their own, but my cousin, her husband, he built a business, and his sons are involved. So it's not a unique thing. Families build together, and they become strong, and they enjoy the legacy, and they reap the rewards together. So why not? Why is this idea so foreign? When you look at some of the most successful families, there's a bloodline of evidence that they have built together, and that is, there's a receipt of success there. There was a time in our own lives when we carried some of those ideas. My husband and I, right? And in the community. Keep building, keep climbing, keep reaching. Family would somehow fit around the mission. If we ever had, we had the miracle baby, but when God entrusted us to the miracle baby, to the miracle children, because it took me so long to get pregnant, and then Daniel, he said he wanted a baby sister. Oh, like, come on, how's this even going to happen? How? Do you even understand how long it took for me to have you, my darling? 2 weeks later, I got pregnant. 2 weeks later, he would pray. Like, I swear, little children's prayers are a different level. He would sit there with his eyes closed, talking to God, asking my mother to pray with him for a baby sister. 2 weeks later, I was pregnant. And guess what we had when we finally had the gender reveal? A baby princess. Our first little baby princess. He was right. He had a baby sister. And our definition of success began to change. We stopped asking, how do I build a successful life? We were kind of obsessed with it before Daniel. And we started asking, how do we build a meaningful life together? Looking back, I don't think our family, what do you mean I don't think? I know it didn't interrupt our calling. It revealed it. The babies revealed it. That realization has changed the way we see almost everything. One of the most fascinating things psychologists have discovered is that one of our deepest human needs is the need to belong. Not simply to be loved, to belong. There's a difference. Love says, you matter to me. Belonging says, you have a place here. Think about that for a moment. Every child, every husband, every wife, every person is quietly asking the same question. Do I matter here? Is my life making a difference? Would something be missing if I wasn't here? Healthy families answer those questions, not only with words, but with the way they live. They invite one another into the mission. So when I was talking about successful families, old money families, whatever you want to call it, They invite each other onto the mission. They celebrate together. They solve problems together. They pray together, carry burdens together. They create a home where every person knows, I have a place here. Researchers who study resilient families have found something interesting. The strongest families are rarely the ones who never face hardship. We've talked about this so many times. You can't not. They're the ones who develop a shared sense of purpose. They believe whatever comes our way, whatever gets thrown at us, whatever we have to fight against, we'll face it together. Now listen, that doesn't remove the pain, but it changes how pain is carried. Because burdens, they'll become lighter. They'll become lighter when they're shared. You can carry each other. As I've looked back over my own life, I've realized something. The strongest memories I have aren't necessarily memories of everything going perfectly. Not always. They're memories of us refusing to stop building. When life was beautiful, we built together. I still remember it with my father, with my mother, with my brother. When life became uncertain, the mission didn't change. We built together. And when our hearts were broken, it didn't change. We built together. And we lost our father because sometimes the enemy steps in and things happen. Things happen. Our story changed, but our mission didn't. My mother, my brother, and I, we kept building. Not because it was easy. It definitely wasn't easy. But love kept choosing to show up. And after we lost my brother in that terrible accident, there were days I don't know how we found the strength to keep moving. I really don't. I don't know how my mother did it. I don't. She's the strongest woman I've ever met in my entire life. Ever. But to keep moving, somehow through God's grace, through prayer, through incredible example of my mother, we kept building. Looking back now, I think one of the greatest gifts she ever gave me was showing me that hardship doesn't have to end the mission. I don't think that's by accident. Families can grieve together. They can also heal together. They continue to pray together, to hope together, and keep building together. Maybe that's why the enemy works so hard to divide families. Because a family working together in faith is incredibly difficult to stop. As I look at my life today, I smile because I could see how faithful God has been. The little girl who always loved building together with her family and always knew she had a purpose and that her future family would have a great purpose and build together gets to live that beautiful purpose together today with her family. Before you reach for that coffee, consider this. What if the energy boost you're looking for isn't in your cup, but in your cells? I challenge you to swap your morning coffee for Shilajit by Symbiotica. And here's what can happen. No crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy, plus mental clarity and trace minerals that our bodies actually need, that are actually starving for, to be honest. This isn't just a supplement. It's an ancient adaptogen sourced from the Himalayas that supports mitochondrial function, stamina, and overall vitality. Your coffee never did that. Okay, let's just be honest. Try it for a week and tell me your body doesn't thank you. Symbiotica's Shilajit is next level wellness, and honestly, you may never go back to drinking coffee. Click the link below down in the bio and get your Shilajit today. And life hasn't been perfect. Not every chapter has been easy. But God has been faithful. And today, I don't build in front of my children. I don't build somewhere away from them. I build beside them. Whatever that is. They're always involved in if it's the healing, they're involved in it. If it's telephone conversations, whatever it is that I'm doing, they are building beside me. They get to see the victories. They get to see the setbacks. They get to see the setbacks. That's so important, friends. You don't want to hide those things. And if they can see you get up when things have been tough through grief, whatever it is, they see you get back up. They get to hear you pray and be involved in that. They get to watch you keep showing up. They get to see that faith isn't something that you just talk about on Sundays. It's every day. They get to live every single day by my side. And one day when they tell the story of their childhood, perhaps they won't remember exactly. They won't only remember exactly what we built, but they'll remember the most important thing that they will remember is that whatever we built, it was built together. Because I've become convinced of this. The greatest legacy is never what you leave behind. It's who you invite along for the journey. It's who you build it with. That's what matters. I never want to run ahead and do things on my own. That's not enjoyable to me. It's not enjoyable to me. Building together doesn't mean everyone has the same role. It doesn't mean that children have to carry adult responsibilities. That's not what I'm talking about. And it certainly doesn't mean that every family looks the same. And there's different examples of that. Building together simply means everyone knows I have a place here. Maybe it's a little boy helping his dad wash a truck or the car on Saturday morning. Maybe it's a little girl standing beside mom in the kitchen. Maybe the little boy's there too. I have so many memories of that, of us. That was our time to talk because we would work while we'd go to school and then we would go right to work. So we would have conversations in between the clients coming in the jewelry store, my brother and my mom, and we'd pack away the jewelry and then we'd talk and then we'd go home and we'd prepare dinner together. My mom would cook from scratch and we'd be standing there. My brother would be peeling potatoes. I'd be peeling carrots and she'd be preparing the goulash or paprikash or whatever she was making, cabbage rolls, stuffed peppers, whatever it was, the dessert that my brother wanted so desperately. And we'd be having the best conversations. And, she didn't have to do that. I do that with my children now too. If I'm cooking, If I'm on the phone, whatever I'm doing, they're listening. I don't shoo them away. I mean, I'm telling you, our little children are learning some of life's greatest lessons through the conversations that happen while we're making dinner together. I mean, it could even look like your family cleaning the house together on Saturday afternoons. We used to do that. I still remember doing it with my dad, the whole family. Saturday afternoons, we'd clean the house together, all of us. My dad, too. My mom, my brother. And then later, it was the three of us. It's not because cleaning is exciting, but it was a responsibility that we did together. And then we worked together at the transmission shop. That was a different thing that we all did together. Everyone is contributing. Everyone belongs. So whatever it looks like in your family, everyone is contributing. Everyone is learning that the family isn't made up of spectators. It's made up of, I want you to write this down if you need to, teammates. It's not one it's so crazy because this culture now, it's like there's no teammates. So even when they argue against each other to win. Where did that even come from? Who cares if you're incorrect or you're wrong? That's a lesson. Who cares? Just admit it. It's so weird. I don't know if it's this culture thing, but I know in the European families that I'm around that it's not that way. And there's like, oh, women belong in the kitchen and oh my gosh, I would never vacuum or I would never do these things. What do you mean? My uncles, when we go home, and I can't wait, I have a huge family in Europe, huge. And the men are trying to outcook each other. They're big, strong European men. Like you can't, it's not, it's because they're dainty or womanly. No, they try to outcook each other. Careful, they'll throw you in the pot. And they work together as teammates. And they garden together. My other uncle and auntie, I have a huge family in Toronto. My other uncle and auntie, they garden together, they cook together, they do everything together. They look phenomenal. Well, all my family looks phenomenal. Why? Maybe because they build together. Maybe they build together. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what keeps them so young and beautiful and healthy. Goodness gracious. Auntie Ergie, Uncle Joe, cook together. They laugh together. They do things together. Okay? And this weird culture of you belong, like everybody, it's this big, beautiful conversation. Everyone gets together. What else? What else could it look like? Maybe it's praying together before a difficult decision. This is so familiar to me. This is so familiar to me now. I grew up like this. Before a big decision or a difficult thing, obviously we would always have gratitude, but we would pray together. Inviting our children to look at our God-given destiny together, to dream together. Ask them, what do you think? I remember as a young child, I didn't feel young at the time, but now when I look back, I remember my mom asking my opinion. I was maybe 3. I can't believe that I remember these moments. She would ask my opinion. And she'd tell me I had great ideas. And she would use them in the business or whatever we were doing. Don't take these things lightly. These are big things that we will carry in our bones, in our memory as adults. Look at me, I still remember. We're teaching our children that their voice matters. No, children don't need to carry adult burdens, but they do need to know that they matter. They need to know that they have something valuable to contribute, that family would not be the same without them. That's how their confidence grows. That's how belonging grows. That's how legacy grows. That's how they can plant those seeds of value and beauty into their own family because they were involved. They grew this thing together with you. They built it together. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, and maybe even just the littlest things, I still remember. Okay? I know you remember certain things that you have experienced in your family, and you're like, oh, I want to do that in my family. One of my favorite pictures in scripture comes from Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other one up. I love that picture because God never designed us to carry life's greatest callings alone, right? He makes us one flesh. Don't try to separate that. People out there, it's very dangerous territory. But what does he say? He created us for relationship, for encouragement, for partnership, for community. And then Joshua stood before the people and made one of the most powerful declarations in scriptures. He didn't say, as for me, it wasn't self-made. It wasn't me by myself. He said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. There it is, written. It's not just me, my house, my family in that house, my home. Serving God has always been something we were meant to grow into together. That's why I love the example of my grandparents. They loved each other so much. And I never got to meet them, but I heard the stories, right? And that's their legacy lives on through story. And what they did together, the farm that they had. And my grandfather loved my grandmother so much. They had 12 children, 14 because they lost 2. They lost the twins, but a big, beautiful, abundant family. Beautiful. And then sadly, after my grandmother died, my grandfather died of a broken heart. He didn't live too long after she passed. That's how much he loved her. You can tell when, and you hear this a lot, when there's an older couple and one goes, you see how much they were loved by the other one that passes. Yeah, it's amazing. Listen, I don't feel like success is found at the top of the mountain by yourself, looking back at everyone who couldn't come with you. I feel like success looks more like reaching the end of your life surrounded by the people you loved, knowing you built something that outlived you, not because of the money you made, not because of the recognition you received, but because every person around your table knew they belonged, that they were part of something bigger, something that mattered. Friends, if today's conversation stayed with you, if you found yourself sitting in the driveway for a few extra minutes, or if you've walked into your home seeing your family a little differently. Would you share this episode with someone you care about? Because that's how hope travels. One conversation, one family, one generation at a time. And if becoming Unshakable has been encouraging your heart, thank you so much for leaving a kind review and a 5-star rating. I truly, well, we all as a family, we truly, truly, truly appreciate it, because when it reaches someone new and they share their story with us, I read it to the family. If it's appropriate for the children, I read it to them too. I read the messages that you guys leave on Instagram in the Entrepreneur Parents or on my personal page, because it means so much to be able to touch the families that need it. Every review helps another family discover these conversations. If you have children, or I know some of you guys are becoming grandparents, if you have grandchildren, I'd also love to invite you to listen to the Entrepreneur Kids Legacy Show with Destiny and Daniel. It's where their heart, they're working so hard to plant seeds of faith and courage and leadership and wisdom and purpose through screen-free, which is so important right now, guys. We're learning the effects of what screens have on the brain. We're learning the effects of, I guess some parents don't supervise, or they're not, and it's not a judgment against them, but perhaps they're busy and they've left their children unsupervised, and there's a lot of dangers. So you know that you can listen to this screen-free content of stories and lessons, and your whole family can enjoy listening to this audio together. And if you'd like to help continue create these episodes for Entrepreneur Kids, you can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/Entrepreneur Kids. And every gift helps them create more stories, more lessons that point children towards Christ and remind them who God created them to be. And it's all I feel like it covers the whole spectrum. There's different pillars. There's business, there's mindset. It's just such a great show, really. And thank you so much for encouraging Daniel and Destiny and leaving these beautiful messages for them. And if you'd like to be among the first families to know when the Entrepreneur Kids Legacy Learning Academy app launches, this is something so incredibly wonderful for children. It has everything from, stories, books, learning, courses, entertainment. It's a safe place. There's no messaging. It's just a safe place where children can learn and just really be their best selves. You can join the wait list. I'll have a link in the show notes where, again, it's a safe place where children can grow through stories, music. There's music, business, leadership, life skills, and faith, one lesson at a time. Before we go, friends, this is such a powerful episode. I almost left out one of our favorite parts. So go grab your journals, go grab something to write with, and I want to leave you with a few questions to pray over this week or just to think about. I don't want you to ever feel pressure when we do these or any kind of guilt. I just want you to open your heart and just answer these questions in a way where you're going to learn something. Be honest, and you can talk about these with your spouse. Especially these ones. These ones are great. So What kind of family culture are we building together? Does every person in my home know they have a place, a purpose, and that they belong? Where have I unintentionally been building alone? Sometimes we do that. It's a great place to identify it here. How can I invite my spouse or my babies into the mission God has entrusted to our family in an age-appropriate way? What ordinary moment this week could become an opportunity to build together? Remember, it's not just the big things. It's not just a business. It's the little things. Remember, cleaning together, whatever it is. Another thing we used to do was pickle vegetables, jar vegetables, whatever it is. Include the kids. It's so fun. And then the last one, when my children look back one day, what do I hope they remember most about how our family lived and built together? Now let's seal it in prayer. Let's come together, prayer partners. Heavenly Father, thank you for creating us for relationship. Thank you for reminding us that the greatest things in life were never meant to be built alone. And even I'd like to say, forgive us for the times we believed that success required separation. Thank you for helping us realize the moments we've become so busy building a future that we've forgotten to invite our loved ones into the journey. Lord, help us build differently. Help us build homes where every person knows they belong. Not just our spouse, but our babies. Where they know that their voice matters. Where every spouse feels seen. Where grace is great. Where teach us to pray together. Teach us to pray together if we aren't. Teach us to laugh together, work together, serve together, and walk through hardship together. Strengthen every marriage listening together today. Encourage every single parent who is faithfully carrying so much. Comfort every family walking through grief. Restore relationships and marriage that may feel distant right now. Help those holy covenants to come together, to feel strong, to feel like they're on a purpose together, that they're building together. And give us the wisdom to recognize that some of the holiest moments in life happen in the ordinary rhythms of our homes. And may our family, our babies grow up seeing what it looks like to love you, to love one another, to faithfully build together. And when people look at our families, may they see your goodness reflected in the way we live. We surrender our homes, our dreams, our businesses, and our future to you. Lead us, shape us, and remind us that the greatest legacy we will ever leave is a family that learned to follow you together. In Jesus' name, amen. Maybe your family doesn't look perfect today. Neither does anyone else's. The goal, it really never was perfection. That's not what we're aiming for. We want to make sure that nobody has to build alone. That's the goal, that we can build together. And that's what changes the the feeling, the environment of a home, that feeling, the vibe, the building together. Everyone having a voice, everyone being included. And before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought. Don't just build a future for your family. Invite your family into the future you're building. Remember, laugh together, pray together, work together. Right? Talk about the future together, clean together, celebrate together, grieve together, lean on each other, keep building together, because one day your children, they're not going to remember everything you achieved, nor do they want to. We talked about that a fair bit last week too. But they're going to remember how it felt to belong. That's what they're going to remember. How it felt to build, to be included. God bless you. Glory to God always. We love you and we're so proud of you for continuing to build strong families, stronger futures, and an unshakable legacy. This is Becoming Unshakable by the Entrepreneur Parent Podcast. I'm your friend, Ildiko Ferenczi, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Have the best day. And you're doing an incredible job if nobody's told you today. My son told me that today. He said, I'm doing a great job. And Destiny, she's like, yeah, you're doing an amazing job. They're so encouraging. And then he said, go have a great podcast. Change lives. Why does he say that? Because those are things I say to him. I say those things to him. You know, before every single podcast, we pray together. Even if it reaches one person, just one who needed to hear this exact moment, we're grateful and we've done our job. God bless you, friends. We love you and we can't wait to talk to you again soon. Have the best day.
Thank you, beautiful friends, for listening to this important message from Mama. Share with someone you love and care about. Oh, and we'd love to personally invite you to listen to our podcast. It's for young future leaders ready to change the world and be a light in the dark. Listen together as a family. It's called the Entrepreneur Kids Legacy Show. We know you'll love it. Be bold, be kind, build an unforgettable family legacy. God bless you. We love you. And parents, if no one told you yet, let us be the first. You're doing a remarkable job. And remember, you are the hero of your story, because every legacy begins with a hero, and that hero is you.
This podcast is for inspirational and educational purposes only, and it is not intended to replace professional advice, legal advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The views expressed are based on personal experience and faith-based insight and are meant to encourage reflection and growth. Always seek the guidance of qualified professionals regarding any questions or concerns you may have about your health, relationships, or business.